All right, good morning, guys. We're going to do a quick stream. This is for our new series. We're doing a series called Famous Blues Songs You Need to Know. We're starting with the famous song from Elvis Presley. Well, Elvis Presley made it popular with Hound Dog. And we're going to go ahead and start working on the left hand. What's up, David? Hey, David, I got your email yesterday about the notifications for the pop-ups, and don't worry, that's coming. I'm going to add everybody so you'll know a little sooner for the pop-up lessons. And as you know, David, the normal lessons are Monday and Thursday for our our Blues Academy, and that's always usually at a set time. But the pop-up lessons are pretty quick. And those are sort of our fun bonus streams. All right, so at the suggestion of one of our members, they thought it would be fun to do 12 songs a year as just a supplemental thing we do, a new series on famous blues songs we need to know. So we have all of our blues courses and all of our things we'll continue to do, and all of our songs we're doing in our community, but we're also going to do famous songs you need to know. The first one we're going to do today, and today is kind of a pop-up stream anyway, because we have our normal lesson on Monday because it was the new start of the new year. Yesterday we didn't do actually I did the launch of the Jazz Academy, but I wanted to do something to sort of start the new year. So what you're going to do is in the left hand you're going to give me this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 3 and 4. So this is the bass line we're going to use for Hound Dog. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And what I always tell people is that you can play this bass line a lot of different ways. Yes, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but you could play it like this: 1 and 2 and 3, da, da. Or you can play it kind of straight: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And anytime you're trying to learn a bass line like this, it is very important to slow it down and play it straight. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And what I'm going to do right now, as we start to learn this song, Hound Dog, we're going to do a couple of things with the right hand. We're going to play 2-note chords, right? How do you get this 2-note chord going? You have C, D, up to E, and B flat. 1 and 2. That's a 2-note comping chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now, we're not even playing the melody yet. I just want you to get familiar with these simple chords of how to play chords against your bass line. So one way we could do it is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So you practice putting the and on the end of 2, but also in your chord, your 2-note chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Or I could do it like this. I could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, what about that one? 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Let me do that again. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 2. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to write these out for you guys. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Now, that's going to go to the F chord. When it goes to the F chord, now that becomes the flat 7 of the F scale, the E flat up to A. So we have our guide tones. Remember guide tones, the 3rd and the 7th note going down to the 7th and the 3rd. We're always spelling our chords going left to right, bottom to top. So our easy chord that we're doing right now is our C chord. Now let's actually do a C9 chord. Let's make this one that we do often. We do it in blues or in jazz. So 3 of the C scale, flat 7, and 9 of the C scale. And that easily goes to an F13. And all you have to do, hey Peter, good morning and good to see you. Yeah, Peter and I are working together on this new series, the tune of the month, and I really love it. I like this idea of Hound Dog. There are a lot of reasons why I love this as our first song, because one, it's a great song. The other thing is it uses the blues scale where you get that minor third sound, right? You have, you ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time, which is right out of the material we've been doing in our Blues Academy all the time. So in just a minute, we're going to go over the melody, but let's do a little more of the comping chords just to get familiar with the rhythm. And as I'm playing this, I want you guys to know 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And we have probably written out about 30, close to 30 different bass lines. And you guys know in the membership area is the, what did we call it? Blues alternate bass lines. I'm going to add that course in our stream folder. Let me do that this afternoon when I get back home. But I will put it in our stream folder, and the reason is I want you guys to have this particular bass line that actually does Blues Example 1, Volume 1. So anybody watching this now, and especially for our newer members, you know that blues, there's a course that we have, and of course you guys get access to everything, a course we have called Blues Alternate Bass Lines, and it takes our very first lick that we do, our most popular lick at iMusicAcademy, that has the Example 1 from Blues Volume 1, right? That normally is like this. We take one lick, but we change the bass line, and one of those bass lines in that course is this hound dog type bass line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is important because it breaks it down and shows you exactly how to play it with something in the right hand. So it's not just the left hand only, but also has the right hand idea. So in this case, we're doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And as you learn this, it's important to practice left hand only, and it is important to use the metronome because this is a short pop-up stream. I'm not going to turn on the metronome now. I'm just going to get into the melody of this song, and I will write you guys, everyone out, an arrangement of Hound Dog. So on our Thursday lesson, you guys will have Hound Dog written out. Today, what we're going to do is just talk about the melody and put it against the rest of the chords. All right, so let me finish up by doing our comping chords. This is a great chord, C9. Now, what I did right there, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. I'm going to write that one out for you. Do that one more time. Goes to F chord. And let's do that as our turnaround. I'm sort of developing this arrangement as we go through this Hound Dog. We're going to do the melody in just a second, but this is a great rhythm for tons of blues songs, right? You had this idea of playing the chord together, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and goes to F13. Now, I'm going to break that down even more in a PDF version, and also we'll work on that specific idea on Thursday. If you get this idea down as a great rhythm to practice and you have the notes written out and we go through it very slowly, you can really get this built up by muscle memory. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and in the same way that we do all of our Ray Charles licks, right? All the things that we've done, we built up muscle memory doing that. It's the same exact thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And as a fun side note, I have had several people email me yesterday say that they enjoyed the jazz thing that I did yesterday and they want to be a part of the free jazz member week. So, and to send them the material. So I'm going to be adding some people new to the stream. I didn't do it this morning because I need to follow up with them and let them know that they have the opportunity to be a part of the blues stuff too. But I didn't want to send them things unless they want to be a part of that as well. But the jazz thing, we have a lot of people interested in that, and that's good. But the reason I mention that is because all of this comes right out of the blues scale, right? All the stuff that we're doing now. Yesterday, we did all of the PDFs in the Easy Jazz course, and it starts with this: C, E flat, F, F sharp, G. And this is important for a lot of reasons. As you know, blues and jazz work perfectly together. They complement each other so well. But even if I'm playing a bass line like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, I can use this automatic pilot in my right hand, what we like to call, where you go up and down the first 5 notes of the blues scale. And the reason that's important is because our blues scale is our foundation in blues and in jazz. And this idea of even going on an automatic pilot, building up muscle memory, first thing you have to do is say, well, where do the notes line up? 1 and 2 and. There it is right there. The F sharp in this automatic pilot idea, going up and down, lines up with the F sharp and the E together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and we have 6 people watching right now. If you would, say hello in the chat if you haven't done that yet, and make sure you like this video. It helps me know that you are enjoying this. And I think we went live. I think we were public for a minute before I switched it over. I thought we were unlisted for our group, but I think we have some people from our YouTube community, which I think is awesome, and I hope you're enjoying the stream. But it's unlisted now, but of course it goes out to a lot of people, so I'm very glad that you guys are here. But what we're going to do now is try to get this down between now and Thursday. 1 and 2 and. So your E is going to be with your F sharp. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay. Now, let me show you one other tip, and then we go right into the melody of Hound Dog, and we'll finish this up. So we're going to do, remember this trick, that if you're on C and our blues key is C, you can go down 3 half steps, and now you're on A. You're using the relative minor scale. Don't let that freak you out. The relative minor scale. C major has a relative minor. It's the same, it's now a minor scale, but it's all white notes. That's your relative minor scale. But what we're going to do is we're doing the C minor blues scale, and you can go down 3 half steps from our main key, which is C, and now you're on an A minor blues scale, which is going to be the first 4 notes: A, C, D, and E flat, fingering 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I had this idea of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. The great thing about this, it doesn't matter what chord I'm on, these notes are going to work. And at the end, what we're doing for this song and this arrangement that I'm going to write out for you guys is this turnaround that we have been doing lately. Is you're on C and you want to do a nice turnaround to get you back to the top of the form. You're going to hit C and then E flat. I'm sorry, E in the left hand. So you're going the 3rd note of the scale, walk it up chromatically, 1 note at a time, up to the 5th. And for a walk up in the left hand, I like to do 5, 3, 1, 2, 1. And if you want, you can add the octave below. So 5, 3, 1, 2, 1. In my right hand, I'm going to do down a whole step. So I go up a 3rd, C to E, or in my right hand, I'm going to do C down to B flat. So down a whole step, and I go chromatically up 1 note at a time to the G, and chromatically down 1 note to get to the G. All right, here's the melody to Hound Dog. We're going to do it up here. We're going to go, you ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. Now, so my notes are E flat, you ain't nothing but a hound, C, hound dog. Let's get that going. You ain't nothing but a Hound. You're going to play the C's together. 1 and 2. Oh, my G and my A is where that lines up. You ain't nothing but a 1 and 2. That's by itself. 1 and 2 and. Actually, it's with the C. Sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Right there. The E is against the E flat. A nice tension there. So you ain't nothing but a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But that G and the A lock up together. Crying all the time, and the C's are together. Okay, now I'm going to show you the comping chords again in just a minute. What's up, Hugh? Hugh is a member at iMusicAcademy. Man, all of you guys are members this morning. David, Vicky, Peter, and Hugh, great to see you on this Tuesday pop-up lesson morning. And we're going to go E flat on the top. You ain't nothing but a C's together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Crying. Here on the word crying, you're going to be on an E and an E flat. Crying all. The G is going to be against the A. Let me play it less talking and more playing very slowly. 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. So I'm just going to repeat that a couple times. 1 and 2, crying. All right, now, notice that I played comping chords. What are comping chords again? They're chords that complement the soloist. In this case, we have the melody going, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. And I just put those comping chords in the middle, so where do they line up? Well, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, and 4 and. Nothing but a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Those are called syncopated chords, off beat. It's not on the beat, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And remember that at iMusicAcademy, one of my favorite things to teach you is to play it slow and straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you break it down, and I could even play it slower than that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. And I will break that down even more on Thursday. This is just about getting you guys started this morning. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. All right, now let's go. Keep going. You ain't nothing but a hound. Now I go to the F chord. Now we're on the 4 chord of the blues. C chord, we're in the key of C. We go up 4 notes. Now we're at the 4 chord, which is the next important chord of this specific blues. Now we're on an F triad, F, A, and C. And what's interesting and important about that is it's the exact same thing. We're building up the same muscle memory on the key of F now. 5, 3, 1. And notice that this bass line on the F chord outlines the triad in the same way that the C outlines the triad with our fingers, 5, 3, and 1. And the tricky note in this specific bass line is the middle note. And what I want everybody to practice very slowly is 5, 3, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3. Now, for all of us here, we've been practicing this together, these quarter note bass lines. I want you to continue to work on those, and I want you to continue. Some of you are a little more advanced and you do the 8th note version. I mean, technically, I could go, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Once you get the bass lines down, you're building up this muscle memory. You'll be able to use any bass line you want to do over the left hand. That's the great thing about learning these blues bass lines or riffs, is that once you internalize them, once you get them, you can play them however you want. And also, it means that not only do you learn it for one song, you learn it for thousands of songs. It doesn't matter the song. If I was playing a jazz song and I do Take the A Train, you understand, you could play any kind of bass line and it will naturally come out because you put in the work excuse me, to do left hand only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you're building up muscle memory. All right, let's finish this song. So, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now watch this. You ain't never. It goes to the D against the G chord. The G chord is the 5 chord of the C blues. C, D, E, F, G. You ain't never caught a rabbit. And 1 and 2 and. So my D gets the B. My B gets the D. 1 and 2 and 3 and you ain't no friend. So we have. Let me put this down. That's the way we'll do it. So you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. On the F chord, there's your E flat. Now why does that note work there? Because the F chord, F7 scale, has the flat 7. In order for that to sound good, you need that flat 7 there. So you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Ba, ba, ba. She said she was high class. All right, now, once you get this idea of you play the melody and you play the bass line, then you start adding comping chords, which we were just doing there, and then you can start doing your improv. And you can also, we're going to start where we're going to say, okay, maybe we want to do our blues road maps. We could go both of those are blues road maps. What if we did the C6 lick? Or this. Maybe we need some melody. All right, you get the idea. There's so many fun things that we'll be able to do, and you've already been putting in the work in our blues roadmaps, right? We had this one. You had the Ray Charles licks that we've done. Right? And all of those we can add. All right, very nice. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this quick stream. We're going to do one more thing really quickly, is that I want to show you how to start working on those comping chords. I don't want to leave you hanging there. So I did the melody. You ain't nothing but a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all we're doing right now is 2-note comping chords. I demonstrated this when we started the video, where I did 3 of a C scale up to the flat 7, and then I went to, once you change down, these are called guide tones. These want to go down half step to get to the flat 7 and 3rd of F. Ba-da, ba-da. But we're actually doing these here, flat 7 of C instead of 3 flat 7. I'm coming up here because it's closer to where my melody is. And I'm just doing B flat and E, which are my guide tones for C. And I go, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, and 4 and 1 and 2, crying all the time. 2 and 3. And what those did is the flat 7 to 3 go to 3 and flat 7 of F. Isn't that nice? You have 2-note comping chords, and those comping chords really fill in the melody. You have the melody going on, and these are nice ways to make it sound really full and rich. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, and 4 and 1 and 2, crying all the time. And I go, I just did my thumb as a little fill, and I didn't even know I did that. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Sometimes I do that. I don't even know that I do that sometimes, but it's a fun way to do a little extra rhythm, as I do thumb and then 1 and 3 together. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Now I'll just do the comping chords. G. That's 3 and flat 7 of a G scale, very important. F, 3 and flat 7. Okay, now we're going to play it one more time and round it up, round this lesson up. We're going to do, listen to this. We have, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. All those work. You have the 5th, the 6th, and the root and the minor 3rd. All of those are blues notes we use all the time, and we talk about the 5th being an important note of the scale, of the C blues scale, and we added this A note. I tell you guys all the time, my favorite notes for the blues are either, of course we all like the minor 3rd, but the 5th note is a really important note, but the 6th note, this idea of ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Peter has his own song, as you all have your own songs that are a part of iMusicAcademy. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And Peter's Gumbo Blues has that idea of da-da-da-da-da-da. And all I'm doing is one of our blues roadmaps, which starts on the A note. And what I told you guys earlier is you have down here, you have your A blues scale. So you have the, or up here, A note. So this is a really important note in the blues, the 6th note of this scale. And you hear that all the time in Hound Dog is a perfect example. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. There's that beautiful note, is that A note. And notice that it all fits under the hand. 5, 1, 2, 3. I won't play the comping chords. Notice that my hand hasn't changed the shape. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. She said she was high class. right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. What a fun way to kick off the new year with our new series to go along with everything else is that we're doing 12 songs a year that we're going to do blues songs you need to know. And it will all be based on material that we've already been working on. Notice that I did blues comping voicings. Notice that we did bass lines, and we did right hand licks that are going to work out perfectly over this as your solo. We're going to build solos together. And you ain't no friend of mine. Da, 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 da. You get it. All right, guys, have a great day. Special shout out to David, to Peter, to Vicky, and to Hugh for joining the stream this morning, and a shout out to all of our YouTube people who saw that we were public for a few minutes, and hope that you are having a great day. Know this, guys, that I'm going to put in our practice stream folder, I'm going to put the alternate blues bassline course. The reason I'm putting that in there is because I want you to go to this specific example that has this one. I don't think it has that extra stuff, but it has that whole thing. All right. Say your goodbyes, and I'll see you guys on Thursday for our normal lesson. And you never know when you'll get a pop-up lesson. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Say your goodbyes, and I'll shut this off in just a few minutes.